Ladies and gentlemen, it is day number 9 of the 5th Custom Drag Race Tournament. This is, I believe, the first round of the semifinals, and we will have Priapus, Frank White, Rico the Robot, and Jabo start us off. All 4 of them, I believe, are undefeated, but that's about to change for at least 3 of them. And it's Rico the Robot who comes out on top, finishing with a 3.13. Somewhere in the ballpark of 3.10 has been the average time for a lot of these racers. The fastest, however, is still Blue Line with 3.01. But Rico the Robot with that Triple R logo, looking to keep their time in this whole drag race tournament alive. And it looks like they might not do that, actually, as Frank White overtakes them for the second finish. And they finish with a 3.11. It was definitely close in that first race, but it looked like it was still promising for Rico. But now that just happened with Frank White, who knows what could happen now? But now none of these racers can go on and still be undefeated. And into race number 3. Is it going to be Rico? Is it going to be Frank? Is it going to be someone else? It's going to be Frank White, who just upped their chances by a great deal to move on. It was looking good for Rico at first, but now we're not so sure. But there's only one race left. Rico needs to finish in front of Frank White. And then at least they might be able to do a tiebreaker or something. But it will all hinge on this race here. You get down to the bottom of the hill. Rico's trying to keep up with Frank White, just cannot do it though. And Frank White will get the 3rd win they need, and they will progress to the finals. I know Rico the Robot has been a great racer. Unfortunately, they were just overtaken by Frank White a little too much here. And a valiant effort by Jabo and Priapus as well. And now for our second round, you will have Evo Killer, Diecast Show, Lone Star, and Scissor Prime. Now remember, Evo Killer represents Blue Line Racing, who previously held the speed record in this tournament until Blue Line took over with another vehicle. But Evo Killer finishes with a 3.09. And they will get this win. That being said, they aren't out of the woods just yet, because the other racers weren't that far behind them, all things considered. But Evo Killer, looking to be one of 2 Blue Line vehicles that will progress. And it looks like they will do that at this rate, because they already have 2 wins under their belt. And they're usually ahead by at least a full length. Finishing now with a 3.08. Slowly but surely improving their time. Now the question is, with 2 wins under their belt, can they get a 3rd and automatically stamp their spot in the finals? This race could determine that, but we will see. The race begins. Scissor Prime trying to keep up with Evo Killer, but they will be pulling away, and Evo Killer gets their 3rd win, so they will move on to the finals, now finishing with a 3.06. With each race, they've been getting faster and faster. So let's see if they can keep that up in this 4th race, leaving everyone else completely behind. Here we go, 1 race to go for this group. Diecast Show, Lone Star, and Scissor Prime, their time in this tournament, at least with these vehicles, is about to end as Evo Killer gets the sweep, stays undefeated, I believe, for now, and they finish with 3.06 again. That is still a good time. Blue Line has been an absolute beast in these tournaments as of late. And now anyone is just trying to find some way to be the one to say they're the one that took down Blue Line. But so far, that has not been the case. But now for the third round, we'll have Ancients of Mumu, Scale Racing, Hardcore Fokker, and The Kid. Race number 1, there was a bit of a slow start for one of them. But look at this, they suddenly pull ahead. They had a slow start, but somehow managed to finish in first. I don't know if they saw that they were falling behind and just got their second wind or what, but man, that is not something you often see in these drag race tournaments. But that was Scale Racing. And Hardcore Fokker had a bit of an unfortunate misspelling there on that screen. Hopefully that'll be fixed in the next time you see it. But look at this, it's happening again. Scale Racing started off in the back and then just pulled away, grabbing the second win. Makes you wonder what kind of times they'd be able to pull off if they didn't have a slow start at the beginning. We may or may never know. For now, they do have 2 wins. They're looking for a third. Here they go. Can they pull it off? Started off slow yet again, but pulling away once more, and they will get that third victory. I could be wrong, but maybe their strategy is just to ease their opponents into a false state of security before pulling out the rug from under them to get the victories that they need. But they are going on to the finals of this tournament. So we'll see if they can stay undefeated here. If they weren't one of the undefeated racers, they're at least looking to get a sweep, and that is exactly what they're gonna do. Something about the way that car is built, once they're on that flat surface, they just take off running. I really think they have the potential to pull off some of the fastest times in this tournament if it wasn't for starting off slower than everybody else. But that is a sweep for Scale Racing. Now for the fourth and final round of today. And we will have Puff, Sneaky Bob, Blue Line, and Zizzer Prime. Now Blue Line already has one undefeated racer moving on to the finals, and they're looking to do it again with their literal golden vehicle here. Finishing now with, what is that, a 3.06. And I believe this vehicle is the one that holds the fastest time for the moment. First it was Evil Killer, and then it was this one. So Puff, Sneaky, and Zizzer definitely have their work cut out for them, going up against the literal champion. Into race number 2, it's looking relatively even, but then Blue Line takes off once again, and they will get win number 2. Finishing slightly quicker now with a 3.05. And I believe that was Zizzer and... was that Puff that pulled up next to him after the race was over? That looks to be the case. They all stopped in relatively the same spot. That was Sneaky Bob and Puff. Into race number 3, Blue Line is looking to put this away. And they get an early start over everybody else. And they will get the win that they need to be able to progress to the finals of this tournament, pulling off yet another impressive 3.05. So now it's just a matter of trying to stay undefeated with 2 separate vehicles, and it's looking very promising for them. Although that does beg the question, what would happen if both of Blue Line's racers went up against each other? Finally, for this fourth race, it looks like Blue Line is looking to get that sweep, and they're getting further and further away from the rest of the pack, and they will get win number 4. Trying to surpass 3.05, but that is where they will finish once more. So that will give us at least half of the racers, I believe, that'll go on to the next round. Well, these are your semi-finalists. Thank you all so much for watching.